This is Steffanie. Welcome to the video version of my journal. I'm Steffanie Rivers. Come on in, kings and queens, and welcome to the conversation. We are simulcasting. We can be seen on Twitter, on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. So, whatever platform you're watching us on, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you are returning. That means that you have seen something and you've heard something that you like and you think is worth your time. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you will be the first to know. And if you are new to the conversation, we want to welcome you. Welcome you. So you're watching me. I'm Steffanie Rivers, and this is my simulcast. And welcome to the show. Now, there are a lot of issues that divide us as Americans. I think of politics and religion as one of the top two, but there's one thing that brings us together as Americans, and oftentimes that's sports. We will support our sports teams no matter what. And if you look around the stadiums or you look in the stands, there will be people of different races and genders and cultural backgrounds. They come together. In fact, listen to this song. When you hear this song, people start marching to the stands. You're like, oh yeah, it's game time. It's game time. Let's go. So, guess what we do? So, if you have a favorite team, then you probably they play the music, you get your hats on, you get your paraphernalia, your favorite. In fact, I went to a little restaurant today and it was Sunday, and they have all the games on, the sports bar, that's what I'm trying to say. And they had all the information, all the games playing and everything. And so people of all different races and genders wearing their favorite team player, they were all in there. And so it seems that a lot of people can get behind a sports team because no matter who you are on the field, they judge you, they support you because you are a skilled player and you have experience and you're scoring for the team and they love you, and it just seems like the euphoric society. The best player, no matter what they look like, is supported and loved and appreciated for their skills and their athleticism, no matter who they are. And that's the way it should be. Sports has led the way in that arena, or so it seems, because now we've got an issue that has come up with one of the most widely known coaches in the NFL, and I'm sure you've heard about it. His name is Jon Gruden, and we're going to talk a little more about that. But first, before we go to that, I'm going to show you my show open. I've been working on some stuff, y'all. Hi, I'm Steffanie Rivers, and I want justice for Breonna Taylor because the police officers involved showed reckless disregard for her life and the lives of her neighbors. Her. So you're saying she essentially died on the floor right there?
The second that she got shot, she was.
Family, did the city of Birmingham, did anybody say, did the church, did anybody say there's more to... So as you can see, there was a lag in the video, and I'll work on that. Not anything really I can do except edit it out later because we're live right now. So if you are watching this, be sure to you can comment on it. But here's the guy that we are talking about right now. His name is Jon Gruden. And if you are a fan, a football fan at all, then you can recognize him. You know, some people say he looks like he's the live version of the little Chucky doll, and from judge from some of those emails, he might be the Chucky personified. But we're going to talk about some seriousness behind Jon Gruden and those emails that came out about him most recently. So as I was saying before, you know, when you look at on the field or on the court or any sports team, it seems like most people are celebrated, and that's equal opportunity situation, regardless to your gender or any of that. But based on these emails, that's the latest example that pretty picture that the NFL presents is not all is cracked up to be. And of course, the facade of equality showed some weakness back in 2016 when Colin Kaepernick, the San Francisco 49ers starting quarterback, decided to use his platform and his influence to kneel during the playing of the national anthem to bring attention to police brutality against Black and brown people. And so Colin Kaepernick has been paying for that ever since, because when that happened to him, this Super Bowl quality, Super Bowl caliber quarterback has not been able to get a contract ever since. And when you ask NFL executives and the commissioner and coaches, hey, why are y'all giving other has been retired, washed up white quarterbacks, you calling them back in droves, giving them an opportunity, but you won't give this Black man an opportunity? They would tell you, well, it's something else other than he was blackballed. And I said I wasn't even going to use that term, blackballed, but they won't give him an opportunity because they didn't like what he did. He stepped out of White Zaddy's approval zone, and he did something that they didn't approve of. And that leads me back to Jon Gruden, because if you didn't know, last week, a couple of, let's say 10 days ago, Jon Gruden came under scrutiny, under the spotlight for some email exchanges that he had with a guy who was in the front office of the Washington football team's executive office. His name was Bruce Allen, and Bruce Allen was the president of operations, I think, for the Washington football team when all this happened back in 2016. And Jon Gruden was working at ESPN at the time. He was in between coaching jobs at the time. And so if you haven't heard, Jon Gruden essentially in the emails, he he talked about gay people, gay players, and how they shouldn't be supported, and why is the NFL forcing people to consider hiring gay people, and he used the F word to describe gay people in an email. He talked about the physical features of DeMarcus Smith, who is with the NFL Players Association, talked about his lips, how they were as big as the Michelin Man. He talked about misogynistic other things. And it has since come out that those emails that Jon Gruden was exchanging with this Bruce Allen dude also included topless photos of the then cheerleaders for the Washington football team that were acquired when the cheerleading squad went to Costa Rica on a promotional tour, and that essentially the team was allegedly pimping out the cheerleaders to the biggest donors of the Washington football team. And because Gruden was working with ESPN and they had a relationship with him, because Gruden has been in the league for so long, he's been the coach of he's been the head coach and assistant coach on about 5 teams. He's been in the league for over 30 years. He's 58 years old, and he has been around. And so these emails that he was really explicit in about how he felt about Colin Kaepernick doing what he did, about how he felt about the NFL Players Association guy and what he might have said or might not have said, how he felt about gay players. All this came out as early as 2016. So that's like 5 years ago at least. So these emails go back, and they only came out because of an issue within the Washington football team's front office and some type of lawsuit that was going on. So emails got involved trying to prove something else. And along the way, Jon Gruden's emails came out. And so we're just learning about those emails, but I'm sure that the general public is just learning about those emails, but it's probable and it's proven that one, Colin Kaepernick was blackballed, because if Jon Gruden felt comfortable enough to open his mouth or to email and talk about Colin Kaepernick like he did, how he should be fired and how nobody else should have anything to do with him. If he felt that comfortable about talking about gay players, then and there was no backlash from this Bruce Allen dude. There was no, dude, you shouldn't say that. That's not the way to go about it. I would never do that with my team and how I make decisions. Those things were never said. It was just, yeah, I know what you mean. If y'all are supposed to be friends, you talk truth to your friend. The fact that nothing was said and that Gruden felt comfortable enough to go on like that says that this is the way things are in the National Football League. And these emails are not brand new. They're at least 6 years old. So in addition to finding out that allegedly, ain't no allegedly, he got topless photos of the cheerleading members of the cheerleading squad. Okay, so what is alleged that they was pimping them out? It is alleged that they were doing something nefarious, alleged sex trafficking, as far as I'm concerned, because you took them over there for a promotional event, and then you take their passports. You took the cheerleaders' passports, so they can't leave. They can't identify themselves alone without being attached to the Washington football team. And then you make them participate in behavior and activities that they might not have wanted to do. So yeah, that's alleged pimping and alleged sex trafficking, if you ask me. So I'm sure Gruden wasn't the only person to get those pictures. But let's stay on track. So after 5 football teams or 5 coaching gigs, he's been in the league for 30 years, Jon Gruden. And so he's 58 years old, and I'm sure, right now he was essentially forced to resign to save face. And, according to his Twitter posts and whatever other posts that he's doing, he initially, remember when the first email came out about him saying the guy's lips were as huge as the Michelin Man, he said, "Oh, I refer to people who lie as having fat lips." And then the other emails came out. And at that point, it was like, okay, now what about this one? Now these pictures of that he's received of topless women. Now what about that? So you can't keep coming up with all these excuses. And so he decided to go ahead and resign. But here's the thing. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe so that the next time I post videos, you'll be the first to know. So here's the thing. As bad as people are talking about Jon Gruden right now, today, give it a few months. Give it, let's say next season. Give it till next season, and Jon Gruden is going to be the head football coach of another team. They're going to give Jon Gruden another chance to be head coach before they give a black man the first chance to be head coach, because white people take up for other white people. They always come up with a reason why, oh, he needs to be forgiven. He has done he's been punished enough, long enough. He didn't mean it. After all the emotional excitement around what he did and how bad it was passes, Jon Gruden is going to get the chance to be head coach again before a black man gets to be head coach the first time. Now, a lot of us say that the way to keep people like Jon Gruden out of head coaching is to give people the chance, give black people, people of color, other deserving people a chance. And so, I would agree with that, but I think let's look at the history of the NFL. There's something called the Rooney Rule, and the Rooney Rule is where the NFL requires a team, when they are searching for coaching or they're searching for someone to fill a front office position, they are required to interview a certain percentage of a certain number of people of color for that position. But it stops there. They're not required to actually hire them. They're only required to interview them. So it always seems that they can find enough black and brown people to interview, but they can't find nobody who's really actually up for the job according to them. They come up with all these reasons why they they won't be successful. The same as with Cat. They will find all these reasons to bring these has-been white former quarterbacks off the bench, bring them back into the game after they retired. They done fell off. They didn't win. Their percentage was so low, but we want you to get another chance. But meanwhile, Kaepernick left at the top of his game, and because they don't want him to have another chance, they ain't gonna give him another chance. They don't care how good he was. They'll give a has-been washed up white person a chance before they give somebody with proven track record of success, a black person, a chance. That's what I'm talking about. That's why Jon Gruden will get a fifth chance, another chance to be head coach, before a black man will get a first chance to be head coach in the NFL. Now, I could talk a lot about the names of the people, and I know there's one person in particular that everybody keeps talking about. His name is, he's the offensive coordinator in Kansas City, Eric Bieniemy. I think that's how you say it. And for those of you all who are into sports, you know who I'm talking about. This Eric Bieniemy guy, they say he's been the reason why Kansas City has been on the come up, and he's great, and why they went to the Super Bowl, and that he should have been head coach. Isn't Kansas City the same place where the head coach's son was drunk driving and hit a little girl, and she was in ICU? And I was following that story for a minute, but I can't remember exactly. Stuff happens and then you move on from it, and hopefully the little girl has recovered. But the story then was that the head coach's son was a known drunkard to begin with. So how he got to be on the coaching staff and had access to all the things that he did was only because of his daddy, and he shouldn't have even been there. If it would have been anybody else, he would have been done lost his job a long time ago. But now there he is, because his daddy got him the job, and now he's running over folk and halfway killing people. And I think he's still coaching. I think they quit talking about it. And so these are the chances that white people get that a black man never get a chance to do nothing like that, because he don't get a first chance to show what he's about. So that's why I'm talking about this today. As disgusted or as much as people are talking about Jon Gruden and what he did, and he's so terrible, they'll turn right back around next season and he'll be head coaching somewhere. But the offensive coordinator at Kansas City, Eric Bieniemy, he still won't be head coach nowhere. They'll pick Jon Gruden over Eric the next time they need a head coach. What about that? So if you think I'm wrong, go ahead and email me and tell me why you think I'm wrong. But in the meantime, be sure to like, share, and subscribe this to my platform, to my channel, so that the next time that I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TCBSteff. Yeah. TCB Steph. So that's what I wanted to bring up today. Now, going back to the Rooney Rule, the reason the Rooney Rule was even enacted was because back in 2002, remember Tony Dungy was the winning coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks, and they fired him. And then Dennis Green, he got fired because he lost. He had a losing season out of 10 years. So he had been the head coach, or he had been on the coaching staff for 10 years. And then the first time his team doesn't do as well as the Zaddies thought that he should have done, they went ahead and rolled him on out of there. And then Tony Dungy in Tampa Bay, winning head coach, he went to the Super Bowl with him, and they ran him on out of there. So then they created this Rooney Rule. And here's the thing. Tony Dungy was the first person to come to one of the first people to speak up in defense of Jon Gruden a couple of days ago, when the emails first started coming out, saying, well, we should forgive him. Everybody makes mistakes, this, that, and the third. And you know what? Everybody does make mistakes every now and then, but it's mostly the white people who make mistakes and get a second and third and fifth and eighth chance. A black man can't make that same mistake because he don't even get the first chance. So yeah, that. But then Tony Dungy did have to come back and say say, you know what? Now that the other emails are coming out, I think that the Raiders, I think they're in Vegas now. I quit really watching football. It's so many other things going on in my life that I need to be concerned about. But every once in a while now, I got to look over there at the TV and see what's going on. And I find out, hey, this Jon Gruden dude is more like Chucky than we thought. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. And so when it comes to these front office jobs, and as a matter of fact, that's how Jon Gruden and Bruce Allen became so familiar with each other. Bruce Allen was the front office person in Green Bay. He was the front office person in Tampa. And when Jon Gruden went to Tampa to be coach, and when Jon Gruden was in Oakland, the Oakland Raiders, and now he was just recently with the Los Angeles Raiders because they moved from Oakland. I'm sorry, the Las Vegas Raiders, because they moved from Oakland to Las Vegas. So it seems that that's what white people do. They stay on code with each other. It doesn't matter how skewed their thinking is. It doesn't matter how bad they perform, they always gonna stand up for each other, and they always gonna give each other another chance before they give a black man one chance. And it's not just on the field, because I just read, and I don't have a picture of her, and you can go look this up if you want to. But Katie Kirk, Katie Kirk is best known for she's the former anchor on the Today Show. She and Bryant Gumbel, remember Katie and Bryant Gumbel? They were on there a long time ago. Might be before y'all's time. Y'all might remember Katie Kirk and the dude who they fired because he was found to be sexually harassing people. Let me look right fast before. And while I'm looking this up, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that the next time I post new videos, you will be the first to know. So let's see. Matt Lauer, that's his name. So remember, it was Katie Kirk and Matt Lauer, and then Katie went on and had retired or moved on to another position, and Matt Lauer was still there. But so I'm bringing up Katie Kirk because she just wrote a book. And in the book, she claims that when she interviewed the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that Katie left out a portion of the interview where Justice Ginsburg spoke, is disparagingly, is that the word? She spoke, she talked down about Colin Kaepernick kneeling to bring attention to police brutality against Black and brown people. Ginsburg essentially said that she thought it was offensive, or she thought it was disrespectful for Kaepernick to do that because his family or other families had gone through so much to allow him to be in the position he was, and so he shouldn't do that because that was disrespecting their memory, their lineage, something like that along the time. It is amazing to me that people always want you to pay homage in the middle of your damn struggle. They want you to be thankful to them while they beating you upside your head. I will never get it. So, and yeah, so let me keep on subject because so Katie Kirk said instead of showing all of what Ruth Bader Ginsburg said about Colin Kaepernick, she decided to cut out most of what Bader Ginsburg said about Kaepernick because she felt like her age, the Supreme Court justice's age, didn't allow her to fully understand what was going on. Her age didn't. I'm like, what? That don't even sound right. The woman is a Supreme Court justice. She is a legal eagle. Okay, she know what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? So you just gonna, oh well, that's not gonna come across right, so because she's so old, she don't know what she's saying, so I'm just gonna erase that part of the answer. Really? So no, really, that's another example of a white person taking up for another white person, because that's what they do. They want to give off this image that they are so pure and fair and honest and above the fray. Meanwhile, they stealing your wealth, they beating you upside the head, they're not giving you your just due, um, and they want you to be thankful. It's like, where do you think I was born yesterday? Do you think I don't have the ability to read history books? That I don't remember what you did? I mean, as a matter of fact, I said I was going to start telling y'all where I am. I'm actually in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I took time today to go to Black Wall Street and just look at what is left of Black Wall Street. I walked by this. I think essentially a minor league baseball park where they have the games. There is no game going on, but right around the minor league baseball park is up against adjacent to what is left of Black Wall Street. Okay, the block that they have left standing of Black Wall Street. And I said to myself, they done took these people's land, they done burned them down, took their land, built a baseball park, and probably didn't give them no money, no recognition, no reparations. We know they haven't. For no, just took this land and built it and making millions of dollars, if not billions, and left them with a block of some barbershop and a burger joint and a this, that, and a third for them to make monthly. I'm like, y'all know what? This is disheartening. It really is. And while I was down there, I ended up, and I know I'm so off subject, but give me 30 seconds. I ended up running into a guy who actually grew up in Tulsa, lives in Dallas. His sister still lives here in Tulsa, and they were down at the new memorial, the new Black Wall Street Memorial Monument that is being built in the area. And so if you have the chance to go to Tulsa's Black Wall Street in the Greenwood area, please do that. And they confirmed what I was thinking. They done did all of this. And because the guy was saying all of where the University of Oklahoma, or maybe it's University of Tulsa, it's a college campus. He was like, all of that college campus area was Black Wall. This is where they live. This is where the houses were. All of this up here, up under the highway area, it went for like at least a mile. It went in both ways, and now they make you think they just had a block worth of businesses. And so, it's just it's amazing, but it's not. It's you want to be surprised at how down devious people can be, but then when you look at the evidence is there. So that take me back to my subject, that it as bad as it seems that it has gotten for Jon Gruden, give it to next season. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. They're going to find a reason to hire him for the 5th time. They'll give they'll give a white man 5 chances before they give a black man 1 chance to be head coach, to be a coach, to be the quarterback, to do anything. So you know what? I'm not crying for Jon Gruden. I'm not crying for none of them, because they going to land on their feet, because that's how they always do, because they going to take up for each other, whether it mean they got to lie, whether they got to take your reparations to do it, to pay his next salary. They going to take it. They going to do it. So you got to do for your family and your community what you need to do. And yeah, that's all I got to say about it. So to find out more about the things that I care about, go to the written version of my journal. It's at eurweb.com. Thanks, and you have a super day.